Kebbi State Government approves appointment of 6th district head. Borno State Government empowers vigilantes to fight insecurity. 50 journalists killed in the course of their duties in 2020. On business, NDIC commenced closure of 42 microfinance banks after CBN's directives. And on sport, Samad Kadir's solidarity strike from the penalty spot in the second half made all the differences. And on the international scene, US President-elect Biden accuses Trump of damaging critical security agencies. Hello there, welcome to Standard Voice News Channel. I'm Svtv Ibrahim. Now the news info. The Kebbi State Governor, Senator Abubakar Atiku Bagudu, has approved the appointments of 6 new district heads in the state. This is contained in a statement signed by the Commissioner of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Right Honorable Hassan Muhammad Shalla, and issued to newsmen in Birnin Kebbi on Tuesday. The new appointees include Alhaji Sadiq Abubakar Saad as district head of Birnin Kebbi, Ubando Mangwandu, Birnin Kebbi Local Government, Alhaji Tukuru Umar Bahindi as the new district head of Bahindi, Bagutu Local Government, Yakubu Abubakar Kaoji as district head of Yamusa, Sarkin Yamusa, Bagutu Local Government. Others are Muhammadu Buhari Dangaladima as district head of Aleru Local Government, Alhaji Muhammad Ali Mayama as district head of Mayama, Sarkin Kudu Mayama Local Government, while Hamza Muhammad Nagwandu is appointed as the district head of Rafin Zuru Local Government area. The Commissioner congratulated the appointees as well as wished them Allah's guidance and protection in carrying out their new tasks and responsibilities. The Katsina State Police Command has killed 6 bandits and rescued 28 victims in Lambo village in Bunu ward of Kurfi local government area of the state. The police relation officer Gambo Isa confirmed this in a statement on Tuesday. Gambo Isa, who said the rescued victims consist of 7 women and 6 children, noted that the police also gunned down 6 of the bandits, recovered 74 rustled animals along with 12 motorcycles. Our correspondent Samira Ibrahim reports. The spokesperson says such parties are still combing the area with a view to arresting more suspected bandits and or recover their dead bodies. The command has received additional units of mobile police personnel and brand new vehicles to fight banditry in Katsina, including many armored personnel carriers. In a related development, the Kaduna State Government has been informed by the military securing the Kaduna-Abuja route general area that troops neutralized 9 armed bandits following a firefight late on Monday night into the early hours of Tuesday. According to the operational feedback, troops acted on intelligence that the bandits were attempting to cross over from the eastern part of Kaduna-Abuja route to the western part with a large herd of rustled cattle. The herders whose cattle had been rustled from the eastern part of the route alerted the military for immediate action. An ambush was successfully led by the troops as the bandits walked into the killing zone and were welcomed with a hail of bullets. Samira Ibrahim reporting for Svtv News, Gusau. The co-marshal of the Federal Road Safety Commission, Mr. Boboye Ayeyemi, says from December 2020, driver's license will no longer be issued with NIN. The co-marshal said the co will introduce the National Identity Number NIN information for vehicle registration by the first quarter of 2021. Mr. Oyeyemi revealed this while he featured on the News Agency of Nigeria NAN forum in Abuja on Friday. Our correspondent, Beauty Abdul Malik, reports.
The co-marshal said the essence of the NIN was to enhance the road safety through the use of technology. The FRSC boss commended the government, pointing out that with the National Identity Management Commission, now there are one national database, one identity. He said, before now, some people have about 5 different identities, but now you are forced to pick one. Once you pick one with NIM, that is what you will be using because it is now going to be as from next month. Now, if you want to renew your driver's license or you want to obtain a fresh driver license, you must provide your NIN. NIN is the first thing, and with that, no biometrics will be done again. They will import it from NIM. Beauty Abdul Malik reporting for Svtv News, Kuso.
Borno State government has presented 8 Hilux vehicles to civilian JTF and other vigilantes group in Hawul local government area. Governor Babagana Umar Zulum has pledged to strengthen local security network in following last Saturday's attack on 4 communities: Tashal Alade, Shafa, Azare, Sabon Kasua, and Debro were affected in the attack, with schools, shops, and places of worship destroyed by suspected Boko Haram insurgent, while 1 civilian and 2 hunters were killed. Our correspondent Samir Ibrahim reports. The Deputy Governor Umar Kadafur made the presentation of the patrol vehicles to the divisional police officer and leaders of vigilante groups in Azare town, the headquarters of Hawul local government area. He said government will continue to prioritize security to ensure that total peace was restored in the state. Alhaji Kadafur said Governor Zulum had commended security operatives in the area for fighting insurgency and promised continuous support. Similarly, a member of the House of Representatives representing Yabo and Shagari Federal Constituency, Sokoto State, under the platform of the All Progressives Congress (APC), Alhaji Abubakar Umar, on Tuesday empowered no fewer than 1,000 of his constituents with various items and cash. The items distributed were 200 pieces each of water pumping and sewing machines, as well as bags of maize. Similarly, some of the beneficiaries each got 20,000 naira and a bag each of rice seeds, while others were given 10,000 naira each and a bag of rice seeds. Speaking at the ceremony held in Yabo, headquarters of Yabo local government, the leader of the party in the state, Senator Aliu Magatakar Dawamoku, commended the donor for the gesture. And that's the report. Samira Ibrahim reporting for SBTV News, Kusau. Federal government has said that the new international airport terminal in Lagos, reportedly worth $38 million, will be opened in 2021. This was disclosed by one of the media aides of President Muhammadu Buhari, Tolu Ogunlese, via his Twitter handle on Monday. In May 2020, the federal government revealed its plan to invest $38 billion in rehabilitation of the Murtala Muhammad International Airport Lagos terminal. The Minister of State for Aviation, Hadi Sirika, has explained that the airport needed a revamp due to its poor state, which has outlived its usefulness. He further noted that the terminal was built to handle 300,000 at intercept, but the passengers it handles have grown to 8 million in the past 2 years. Adamawa State Governor, Right Honorable Ahmadu Umar Fintiri, has congratulated Professor Umar Pate on his appointment as the new Vice Chancellor of the Federal University, Kasari, Gombe State. His appointment was announced by the university's governing council as the third Vice Chancellor. The governor, who expressed joy over the appointment of the Adamawa son, describes it as well described, having proven himself as an accomplished academic. He said he has no doubt in his competence because Prof. Pate has distinguished himself both at University of Maiduguri and Bayero University, Kano, having previously held a variety of leadership roles. While praising the leadership qualities of Professor Pate, whom he described as working hard to make the study of mass communication great, the governor said he is proud to say that Adamawa is blessed and honored with Professor Pate's appointment and have confidence in his capacity to move the university to greater heights. Federal Capital Territory Administration said no fewer than 478 health workers, including doctors, nurses, pharmacists, laboratory staff, drivers, and other auxiliary personnel, were infected by the coronavirus since the first case was recorded in the FCT. Out of the figure, 4 doctors stumbled by the disease, the latest being a female doctor. Anthony Oguleye, the Chief Press Secretary to the FCT Minister Muhammad Bello, made the disclosure in a statement on Tuesday in Abuja. He also said despite the challenges of the virus in the FCT and Ulitide, all its hospitals are operating at full capacity, including emergencies for adults, children, delivery and maternity services 24 hours, theatre service and other services. There has not been any other recorded fatality of a health personnel over the last 1 week. 50 journalists and media workers were killed in connection with their work in 2020, the majority in countries that are not at war. Reporters Without Borders said the figures shows an increase in the targeting of reporters' investigation, organized crime, corruption, and environmental issues. It highlighted murder in Mexico, India, and Pakistan. 84% of those killed this year were deliberately targeted for their work, RFS said in its annual report compared to 63% in 2019. For several years, Reporters Without Borders had noted that investigative journalists are really in crosshair of state or cutters. And now it's time for our business update, and Samira Ibrahim has that package for us. Welcome to Standard Voice Business Desk. I am Samira Ibrahim. The Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation (NDIC) has commenced the closure of 42 microfinance banks after a directive from the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN). The NDIC had earlier on Friday announced on its website that the CBN has revoked the operating license of 42 microfinance banks. It confirmed to newsmen that the closure of the banks has commenced. It earlier informed the depositors, creditors, shareholders, and the general public that the operating licenses of the 42 microfinance banks have been revoked by the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) effective 12 November 2020. The Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation (NDIC), the official liquidator of the banks whose licenses were recently revoked, is in the process of closing the affected banks. The NDIC therefore requests that all depositors of these banks should visit the closed banks' addresses and meet NDIC officials for the verification of their claims. And that's all on Business Desk today. I'm Samira Ibrahim. Thanks for watching and back to the newsroom. Thank you, Samira. And on our sport update, Abu Sufyan Bakar has that package for us.
Hello, welcome to Standard Voice Television Sports Room. I'm Abu Sufyan Abakar, and as usual, I bring the sports updates. Enyimba International on Tuesday got off to a winning start in the Nigerian Professional Football League this season as they pipped their city rivals Abia Warriors by a lone goal. Samad Kadiri's solitary strike from the penalty spot in the second half made all the difference as Enyimba emerged victorious in a well-contested Abia derby. The People's 11 started on a rampaging note and almost broke the deadlock 5 minutes into the game, but Abia Warriors' new goalkeeper Ojo Olureleke was equal to the task as the hosts were also denied by the woodwork. Fatai Osho's men thought they had gotten the early goal they needed when Kadiri got the ball in the net, but the effort was chalked off as the referee spotted a foul against Abia's Warriors Adekunle Adeleke in the build-up of the goal. After staying on the back foot in the early exchanges, Abia Warriors began to threaten the Enyimba defense. Just before the half-hour mark, Nzobi Anazemba came close to scoring against his former team, but his effort was too timid to cause any havoc for the Enyimba goalkeeper. And that's all we have on sports today. Back to the newsroom.
Thank you, Abubakar Sufyan. And on the international scene, U.S. President-elect Joe Biden on Monday said the outgoing Donald Trump administration was doing enormous damage to agencies critical to the nation's security. Mr. Biden made the allegations against Mr. Trump after receiving a briefing from his aides on national security and foreign policy. He specifically mentioned the Department of Defense and the Office of Management and Budget, accusing them of setting up roadblocks to information flow. Many of the agencies that are critical to the country's security have incurred enormous damage. The president-elect said they are not getting all the information they need from the outgoing administration in key international security areas. Still on the international scene, Iran tested its locally developed coronavirus COVID-19 vaccine for the first time on Tuesday. According to the state's broadcaster, 3 test subjects were given the vaccine in presence of the Iranian health minister. In addition, 56 people are set to receive the vaccine in the first phase of testing, and results should be announced in less than a month. President Hassan Rouhani said Iran would import foreign vaccine as well as use those products locally. Due to U.S. sanctions, Iran doesn't have access to the global banking system, leading to issue with payment and consequently with other vaccines. However, the country's central bank has already allocated roughly $245 million for the import of coronavirus vaccines. The number of confirmed coronavirus cases has decreased in Iran, in recent weeks due to a strict lockdown, though the number of new daily infections remain at almost 6,000 and fatality to over 120. Nigeria have taken to the social media to lambast the co-founder of Microfinance Corporation, Brigade, over his recent comment that he did not know why COVID-19 cases and deaths were low in Africa as against the grim casualty figured in developed countries. Gates, in a recent statement shared on a website, said it was possible that the figures provided were not real due to the gaps in healthcare system in Africa. The billionaire and his wife Melinda Gates had, at the inception of the pandemic, predicted that Africa would be worst hit by COVID-19. Their prediction, however, has been far from truth, as figures of infection from Africa have remained relatively low. Therefore, following his recent statement, several Nigerians have taken on Twitter to criticize him, saying they wondered why he was interested in seeing a high rate of coronavirus infections in Africa. That has been the news from Standard Voice Television. To end the news, a quick look at the major headlines. Kebbi State government approves appointment of 6th district head. Borno State governor empowers vigilantes to fight insecurity. 50 journalists killed in the course of their duties in 2020. On business, NDIC commends closure of 42 microfinance banks after CBN's directive. On sport, Samad Kadir's solidarity strike from the penalty spot in the second half made all the differences. And on the international scene, US President-elect Biden accuses Trump of damaging critical security agencies. That's the news. On behalf of the production crew, head of news and current affairs, Ibrahim Garbatanow, I'm Fawzi Ibrahim. Do have a nice day.